December 14th, 1987, Carlsbad apartment complex just north of San Diego, California. Linda Ricchio was so in love with Ron Ruse, she would do anything to keep him. But when Ron wanted to call it quits, Linda turned to years of stalking and harassment in order to win him back, blurring the line between love and obsession. By the time it's over, she'd never be with Ron again. Neither would anyone else. This is The Murder of Ron Ruse and the real fatal attraction of Linda Ricchio. Hey y'all, I'm Chris Calvert.
And I'm her husband, Rob Podorf. Welcome to Hitched to Homicide.
For better or worse.
Till death do us part.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, welcome. And for our friends over there in Cameroon.
Cameroon.
Bolabwam, bolabwam, bolabwam.
Welcome, Cameroon. By the way, if you're listening to our true crime podcast and you're here in America for the World Cup, welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
I have loved. I'm not on social media very much. I do a hit and run. I'll go into the in-laws and outlaws and chit-chat around a little bit, but I'm just really not on social media that much. But I have so enjoyed on Instagram especially and TikTok stories of these people who've come to America for the World Cup and they're like, oh my gosh, I just went to 7-Eleven and I got a big gulp.
Yeah, my favorite is Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
It's amazing.
The Buc-ee's. If you live in an area of America where there are Buc-ee's, more power to you. We don't have one. We have one close, but
yeah,
I don't know, maybe 40 miles away or something. They're incredible. Shout out to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I saw one the other day. This girl said, I'm going to Mecca. It's amazing. And I turn around and it's a Walmart. It's great.
I know. And then they go to Costco.
Yeah.
And they're like looking at the huge jars of mayonnaise and things. I think we take for granted how lucky we are in America and to be American. So if you are here for the World Cup and you're actually listening to us, welcome to America.
Absolutely. And our big, huge pizzas at Costco.
We have listeners all around the world, by the way. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we even get comments sometimes, and I have to go translate them because you write them in your native language. But we do so appreciate it.
Yep, we do.
So wherever you are listening, be sure to subscribe to Hitched to Homicide. Then like, rate, and review the podcast so others who love true crime and are just like you can find us. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button below. If you want true crime with us all the time, please join our closed Facebook group, The In-Laws and Outlaws, the place I go to do a hit and run on social media. Go to Facebook and type in H2H In-Laws and Outlaws. Answer a couple questions. You are in. Please go join.
Yes.
I like to post photos and other information in there. Everybody's in there posting stuff. It's hilarious. I love you all.
Yep.
Make sure you're ready for the kind of true crime humor that we do have in there and answer those questions so you know what you're in for.
Please.
It's never malicious, but we are just trying to survive this world we live in.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
They are a great group of true crime people.
Yes, they are.
You can find us on Instagram at Hitched to Homicide or on X at H2H_podcast. And we also have a Buy Me a Coffee link if you want to send Rob some coffee. You can find that link in our show notes. You can also send us a text. The link to that is at the bottom of the show notes where it says send Chris and Rob a text or a message. We're getting them. Thank you so much. So many of you are kind. And for those of you who don't like me, okay. You don't have to listen.
No worries.
So I'm going back a few years. In 1987, Fatal Attraction, starring Glenn Close and Michael Douglas, opened in the beginning of December.
And what was it that Tom Hanks said?
It was the one.
In Seattle.
Yes, it's the one film that scared the shit out of every man in America.
It scared the shit out of every man in America.
It did too.
And that is the famous Tom Hanks line from Sleepless in Seattle.
Yep.
It scared the shit out of me. It scared the shit out of every man in America. And it should.
It was great.
Don't cheat.
Yep. Absolutely.
But this is a true Fatal Attraction story. Before I get started, let me thank some sources: the LA Times, the San Diego Tribune, Investigation Discovery, Citizens Against Homicide, the Daily Times Advocate. There are many, many others. I will post all of those sources, everything that I used, in the show notes. So all you got to do is go there and look.
All right. Well, you ready?
I am.
Let's do it.
Ronald Louis Ruse Jr. was born on November 20th, 1959 in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Hey, I know that place.
I know. To Joanne and Ronald Ruse Sr. He has 4 sisters. Can you imagine being the only boy and having 4 sisters?
No.
Susan, Laurie, Diane, and Cindy, and he is born right smack dab in the middle of the 4. So he's got 2 older sisters and 2 younger sisters.
He didn't stand a chance.
I don't know when the family moved from North Carolina to California, but his mother is quoted as saying that he loved playing baseball, he played Little League, and by the age of 13, he is surfing every single day.
Oh, wow.
Ron graduated from Orange Glen High School in 1977. He was a decent student and he really enjoyed shop class and drafting, but cars were his passion. And when he finished high school, he went to work as a mechanic. He loved to surf. He loved to play sports. He's really laid back. He's a surfer dude, and he's known for his sense of humor.
I have to interrupt just for a second. 1977, so that was the year I graduated.
Yes.
And during that era, cars were really important to guys and girls, but mostly guys. That was your identity.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's different about today's generation. Cars just it's a vehicle. It's not a big deal.
Well, it's a computer on wheels now.
Yeah.
Think about it. You can get a Tesla and it just drives itself.
Yeah.
And guys always had their head underneath the hood of their car, working on them, diagnosing them, and now you got to take it to the dealership so they can hook the computer up to it and tell you what's wrong with it.
You have to have a software computer engineering degree just to even, open the hood on the car. Yeah.
I think it might be a dying art to be an actual mechanic on an older car, to be able to get in there and do some stuff. I mean, I can remember my dad would change the oil in my car. I don't think anybody would go change the oil in their new car. They're just going to take it to, a drive-in or back to the dealer, because the dealership is like, if you don't bring it to us, you're like, you're ruining your warranty.
Listen, my dad taught me how to, change the oil and plugs and, set the points and the distributor cap and all that stuff. Yeah. I learned all that stuff when I was in my teens, but it's a lost art.
I did not. I learned how to change a tire. I also know how to put windshield wiper fluid into the little container.
There you go.
So
that's all you need.
That's all I need. Otherwise, I'm pulling in to have somebody else do it. But I do think it is a dying art. Yeah. But he was very much into cars. He's very laid back. He surfed so much every day. Sometimes he surfed twice a day.
Wow.
He liked to play golf every Saturday. I read, even though he wasn't particularly good at it. And you know what, Ron? There are tons of men out there who aren't particularly good at golf.
And I'm proud to be one of those. What's really sad is your dad is a scratch golfer, okay? And I went out with him twice and was just totally embarrassed because he's so good that my golf clubs have sat in the garage for the last 7 years.
My dad is a very good golfer. Started out as a little kid. He was a caddy. Yeah. And that's how he learned how to play. He was a caddy. But I also played starting very young, and Some of the best golf I ever played was when I was pregnant. One of my favorite stories to tell is I was taking my golf lesson and I looked at the pro and I said, I cannot. I was about 7-8 months pregnant. And I said, I cannot swing around this belly. And he said, Chris, men do it every single day.
It's true.
You can do it.
Exactly.
And I hit that 7-iron as far as I could. But I digress.
Okay.
He liked to play golf, wasn't very good at it. He was really funny, and he was just known as an upstanding, decent guy. He's a decent guy. And he was really cute, and he had a ton of personality, but he was shy about asking women for dates, and they often had to ask him on dates. He may have worked at other car dealerships or garages, but when he's 19 years old in 1978, he's working at Cush Honda in Escondido, California. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Escondido.
Somebody from Escondido is going to tell me that I didn't. In 1980, Linda Elizabeth Ricchio is 20 years old. She's a former student at San Diego State University. She's still living at home, and she's working in the sales department of an Escondido, California car dealership.
Okay.
The same one that Ron is working at. And Escondido is about 30 minutes north of San Diego, just so you get an idea of where that is if you're not from California.
So in between L.A. and San Diego.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love the San Diego area. I love La Jolla. Been body surfing in La Jolla.
Okay.
Gorgeous there.
Yeah.
Linda is attractive. She's got long brunette hair. She's a tiny little thing. She's like 5'2", maybe weighs a $105 when she's wet, I think. She catches the eye, or maybe I should say her eye caught the new 19-year-old auto mechanic, Ron Ruse. And Ron and Linda, they start to flirt a little. And then they start to flirt a lot. And they have this immediate chemistry. And they started hanging out after work. And then they start going out after work. And then they kind of started dating. And Ron likes Linda, but he's only 19, right?
Right.
And the problem is, after they've only dated for a couple of weeks, Linda shows up at his apartment in the middle of the night. She's all upset. Her car is full of all of her stuff, and she's crying. She's not making a whole lot of sense, but what she ends up saying is that her mother has thrown her out of the house.
Wow.
She's got no place to go. That's what she's saying. And I'm thinking, really, Linda? You've only known Ron a couple of weeks. You don't have any friends. If your family lives there, you have zero friends, nobody else to go live with whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, that's a little suspicious.
Yep.
But Ron's a pushover. He's too nice of a guy to say, go live with one of your girlfriends. Yeah. So he lets her in. And then she just sort of flat out moves in. And guess what? They become a couple. And now she's living with him. But Ron tells her right away that their relationship isn't going to end with an I do. But she sure is going to try to pressure him into wanting to marry her. So he's basically saying, look, I'm 19. I like to play golf. I like to play softball. I like to surf 2 times a day sometimes. You can live here. We can have this relationship. I'm not ready for marriage. I'm not interested in marriage.
I'm not changing my routine.
Ron takes Linda home to meet his family, and Ron's sisters, who are very protective of him, are kind of checking her out like, oh, okay, who do we have here? Yeah. But they are kind to her, and his parents treat her like family. As an example, when Ron's mother gave his sisters 10 presents for Christmas, Linda would get 10 presents as well.
Really?
Yes. Very fair. Very fair. I have a mother-in-law like this. My late husband's mom, when she gives stuff to the grandkids, she makes sure she spends the exact amount. So if she bought something for you that was just a little bit under what she paid for somebody else, you'll find like $1.74 in a box for Christmas.
Yeah, down to the penny.
She keeps it the same. We love her for that. She's the best.
Yep.
But Linda this chick always has ulterior motives. Always. So Ron and Linda are working together all day long. And then they go home to each other all night long. And Ron needs a break from Linda, who's become a little bit controlling of his life. And I read that and I thought, you know what? Rob and I, we work in the same house all day long. And then, we go to bed together at night all night long. But what's the difference for us, honey?
We're not on top of each other.
Now, see, someone's going to say, are you talking about daytime or nighttime? You set yourself up for that.
I know. I teed that up pretty easily.
We have a whole floor of a building in between us, and we text back and forth, and we FaceTime back and forth.
Yeah.
But, if we have a question or whatever, but we leave each other alone to work. And I like it that way. He likes it that way.
Yeah.
He doesn't want me coming downstairs and humming a tune while he's in the middle of composing something, and I don't like him coming upstairs and talking to me while I'm trying to write if I'm in the zone. But I read that and I thought, they are in an apartment.
Yeah.
He's very young, and we're older, so we're just kind of like, oh yeah, I've got my best friend downstairs. My best friend's upstairs. Yeah. But she's all over him, and she's very controlling. He's this sports guy, and he likes to surf, and it's California, and he plays softball. And these are the things that he does without Linda. He does them happily without Linda.
Well, he's 19.
He's 19.
Good grief.
That's when this relationship starts.
Wow.
But when Linda can't find him, or Ron goes somewhere and Linda doesn't know where he's gone, she starts tracking his butt down by calling all his friends and family members. Now, this is before Life 360 or Find Friends. She's actually picking up a landline and being like, have you seen Ron? Where's Ron? Is Ron with you?
Wow.
I can't find Ron.
Man.
Where is he?
Yeah.
And this is really irritating to Ron, as you might imagine. I would think it would be irritating to his family and friends as well. Mm-hmm. But he's this easygoing guy, and he doesn't like conflict. He's really laid back, so he just kind of ignores all of it. And when Linda confronts him everywhere, like when she would find him, she would scream obscenities at him.
What? Yes, you do! You're such a liar! Why are you lying to me?
Like, what the blankety blank do you think you're doing, you blankety blank? I mean, yeah.
Wow.
This goes on for 2 years. 2 years.
Ron.
And by that time, Ron's 21. He's had it. He tells Linda, I need more space. And Linda loses her damn mind. She goes off the deep end. She tells Ron, if you leave me, if we break up, I'm going to kill myself. And this scares the holy living you-know-what out of Ron.
Well, you know what this reminds me of is in Wedding Crashers when Vince Vaughn and what's his little girlfriend's name?
I don't know, but it's Isla, whatever her name is, the redhead. And I'd find you.
I'd find you.
If you leave me, I'll find you.
I'll find you.
Oh, man. Scary.
It's a stage 4 clinger, which is exactly what Linda is. I got a stage 4 clinger.
Yeah, man.
But he doesn't want that guilt on his head. I mean, he's so young, and he decides maybe I'll stick it out a little bit longer because he doesn't want to be the reason that Linda, who clearly has some mental issues, ends her life. But after 3 more years of relentless hanging on, that's going to be 6 years total. Ron has really had it. He's
really had it this time.
Yeah. He's had enough. He can't take her or the relationship anymore. He feels trapped. He's unhappy. He wants out. And every time he would try to break up, which was several times over the years, but each time she pulls this suicide card. And that's not to say that a suicide threat shouldn't be taken seriously. It always should.
Right.
But she is holding him hostage.
Well, and it's really difficult when you got somebody that's moved into your place.
Yes.
Good grief.
Also in 1985, Linda sued her former employer. She made the news in 1985 when she sued her employer in Escondido, alleging sexual harassment. And in that lawsuit, Linda claimed her boss told potential employers that she was mentally unstable, and the suit was dismissed when she couldn't provide any evidence. But I bet the dealership at Escondido could show some evidence.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, they didn't have cameras everywhere like we have now,
right,
where you could show that somebody is mentally unhinged inside the dealership. But I think she is.
Yeah.
Now, Ron tried to be her friend. He wanted to break up with her, but he's trying to do it slowly. He's trying to be her friend. He was even paying her bills. He wanted to be kind to her, and he wanted her to find somebody else. That would put his mind at ease. But she's not going anywhere. So finally, Ron packs his bags. He moves out of his own apartment. He leaves Linda. He leaves his job, and he finds a new place to work. And for a year, they live apart, and Ron lives peacefully. But he's not really dating anybody. He's probably got PTSD, and he's keeping a very low profile until he goes to a friend's wedding where he meets Vicki Woodruff. Now, Ron really likes Vicki. He really, really likes Vicki. She's normal, right? She's not a stage 4 clinger. Right. She doesn't try to track him down everywhere he goes. And these two start dating. And when that happens, guess who shows back up again?
All bets are off.
Linda. So Linda shows up out of the blue to see him, acting like she doesn't know that Ron has this new girlfriend, Vicki. And Ron comes clean with her. He says, look it. I've met somebody. I'm really happy. I wish you would be happy too. Of course, I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
But Linda isn't happy that he's happy. And she says to him, take me back. You must take me back. She's like pleading with him. Please take me back. And of course, Ron's like, I've been to this hellhole of a party before, and this time I'm RSVPing. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And Linda storms off.
Yeah, something tells me that her storming off is not a good sign.
So what am I supposed to do? You won't answer my calls. You changed your number. I mean, I'm not going to be ignored, Dan.
I'm not going to be ignored, Dan. And in Linda's twisted mind, she's going to be in Ron's life no matter what. She's not going down without a fight. I mean, this is one determined woman. So Linda goes back to her old phone calling ways. She calls Ron constantly. And when I mean constantly, I mean his phone never stops ringing. And when he stops picking up the phone to answer the calls, she stands outside his apartment screaming. She stands outside the apartment and yells, quote, "You're going to pay for this, Ron. You're going to pay for this."
Jeez.
Again, I won't be ignored, Dan.
Yeah. Wow.
Linda starts showing up everywhere, literally everywhere, and I hate the word literally, but she's following him. She tracks him down on the golf course when he's playing with his buddies on the weekend. She shows up uninvited to his softball games. She even shows up where he's working. Then she tracks down his new girlfriend. Now, at first, she tracks down the wrong Vicki. Can you imagine being the wrong Vicki? She's mistaken a woman named Vicki Young for Vicki Woodruff. So she tracks down this Vicki thinking that it's his Vicki. And she confronts the wrong Vicki at her place of work, the Plaza Camino Real in Carlsbad. That was the name of the mall back then. And the wrong Vicki, Vicki Young, kind of knows who Linda is.
I've heard things about you.
She sort of knows her. So like a friend of a friend of a friend.
Okay.
So when Vicki Young, the wrong Vicki, says, "I heard you and Ron broke up," Linda replies, quote, "Not yet." And then she goes on to say, quote, "I'll kill him, you, or any of his friends who try to get in the way, end quote.
Ugh.
She also tells the wrong Vicky, I'm pregnant. It's Ron's, which is not true.
Unless she's an elephant.
I also read in her testimony later on, she's going to say she got pregnant twice and had 2 abortions and that they were Ron's. I don't know that there's proof of that because she lies about pregnancy more than once.
Right.
So now that she's dealt with the wrong Vicky, Linda's off to find the real one. She's already harassed the wrong person, so now she's after the real one. Yeah. And while stalking Ron, she sees the right Vicky Woodruff, in her car leaving Ron's apartment. So she writes down her license plate. Then she calls the DMV and weaves this tale. She tells the DMV that she's hit a car, Vicky Woodruff's car, with that particular license plate. And she says she needs the owner's information so she can get in touch with them. And the DMV gives it to her. No questions asked.
Well, it was the 80s.
It's the 80s. That would never, ever happen now.
Yeah.
They just flat out hand over her address. So she's got Vicky's address. Now, she doesn't storm over there or anything. Instead, she starts writing letters, threatening letters, which she always signs, hatefully yours, Linda.
Man.
Then Linda shows up at Ron's sister's house, Susan Fisher. Remember I told you she met his family,
right.
Which only stands to reason because they dated forever. She stuck to him like glue for all those years.
Sure.
And Ron's sister Susan is really alarmed at Linda's behavior because Linda keeps saying to Ron's sister, this is just so unfair. And she flat out says, the sister looks at her and says, look, girl, y'all aren't getting back together. It's like the Taylor Swift song. Yeah. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. It's not happening.
Right.
To which Linda says, quote, I'm going to do something to your brother that I'm going to regret. I just feel like killing him, end quote.
Wow.
And Ron's sister Susan, she tries to calm Linda down, and she tells Linda that the best revenge is a good life. So go out and live your best life. She's trying to be positive with Linda.
Sure.
But Linda doesn't take this advice to heart in any way, shape, or form. She starts harassing Ron even more. In the summer of 1987, Linda cancels Ron's reservation at his 10-year reunion at Orange Glen High School, saying she was his wife. So he's going to go to his 10-year reunion, and they're like, oh, your wife called and canceled. And Ron's like, I don't have a wife. And he's starting to feel a little bit more than humiliated by Linda. Yeah. Again, he hates conflict, and he just wants it all to go away. He doesn't want to call the police or anything. He just wants to live his life, but without Linda. Yeah. But she's showing up now at his place of work. And now his job is in jeopardy. And that is the final straw. It's kind of like, you can harass me, you can do whatever you want, but if I'm going to lose my job, this has to stop.
We got problems.
So in October 1987, after a full year of constant harassment, Ron finally files a restraining order saying she continually calls me at all hours of the day and night. She shows up at my apartment and demands to come in. I have told her I no longer want to see her. She showed up at my work and verbally harassed me in front of fellow workers and also my supervisor. This is the second time in a week she has appeared at my workplace. My job is now in jeopardy. So that's exactly what he puts on this restraining order.
Okay.
He goes to court, and when he's in front of this judge, this idiot of a judge, I'm sorry, it's the worst. Because the judge makes this snide comment due to the fact that he's a man and he's asking for a restraining order against a woman. Again, it's the 80s.
Yeah.
So the judge says, I've never had an attractive woman stalking me. as to say, like, why would you want to file a restraining order if a beautiful woman's after you? He's just not taking the situation or Ron seriously. And there are a lot of people who think if this judge had just, like, stepped up and done his job, maybe things would have been different. In response to the restraining order, Linda said she told Ron she was pregnant in September and he dumped her. It was through a phone call that I learned he had a new live-in girlfriend named Vicki Woodruff. His severing our 7-year relationship in this manner disturbed me. So that was her response. Okay. So the judge issues a mutual non-contact order between the two of them. So he can't go near her and she can't come near him because Linda's been all up in his business for all these years and he's tired and he's over it.
And I'm guessing this isn't the end.
This is not the end because this is a true crime podcast. A few nights after the day in court in October of 1987, Ron comes home and finds a note on his front door. And it says, quote, "Check the note on the rocking chair." And he unlocks the door to his apartment, and stuck to the rocking chair in his living room, there's another note, a piece of paper that reads, quote, "This is not going to stop me from getting to you," end quote. Wow. So this mutual restraining order means absolutely nothing to her. In the meantime, she's doing things like vandalizing his car, but he has no proof that it's Linda. She diverts his mail to her address, steals his personal phone bill because she's trying to track down Vicky's number. Ron finally goes to the police at this point because no one saw her breaking into Ron's apartment or even leaving the note, and it's not signed, and the police don't have enough to arrest her for this or vandalizing the car. He knows it's her, but there's no evidence that it's Linda. And the police are like, our hands are tied. It's unfortunate that you've got a crazy stalker, but our hands are tied. Sure. So Linda starts her letter writing campaign all over again to Ron's girlfriend, who, bless her heart, has stuck around during all of this. And Linda sends a letter to Vicki Woodruff that says, quote, "It was never about you and Ron. It was always about me and Ron. I win, you lose. I'm going to tear the two of you to the bone," end quote. Wow. Then she signs it, hatefully yours, Linda. So just to recap, she's harassed him for a year. She's harassed Vicky, and even a Vicky that isn't his Vicky. She's showing up at his place of work. She's vandalized his car, and now she's showing up where not only she knows where he lives, but that she can get into his apartment somehow. Yeah. And don't forget, she lied to the DMV, so she actually knows where Vicky lives as well. Right. She's out telling people, quote, "If I can't have Ron, no one can have Ron." Ron moves out of his apartment and he starts living in hotels. He starts using rental cars so Linda can't track him by his car. He's living out of a suitcase in a different car each day and a different hotel each night. Man. And during this time, Ron catches up with an old high school buddy of his, a guy named Ray Hieronymus. And Ray calls Ron after he gets a disturbing phone call from
Linda.
You guessed it, Linda. Ray tells Ron that Linda calls him, and after he says hello, she doesn't even say hello back. She just starts yelling. Quote, "I'm gonna fucking blow him away. I'm tired of this shit," end quote. She tells Ray, "I have a gun and I'm going to blow him away." And Ray says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, calm down. You can't be making threats like this." And Linda says, quote, "I'm going to blow him away and then I'm going to kill myself. I feel used. I put a lot of years in with him. I can't understand why he won't see me, why he won't answer my phone calls," end quote. Linda.
Because you're nuts?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
We're back to I'm not going to be ignored, Dan. Yeah. And on top of all of this toxic girl stuff that she's pulling, Linda has purchased a 38 special. And she'd been going to target practice. And she's always focusing on the head and the groin. And she's a good shot, too.
Jeez.
Quick story, when I go to Writers Police Academy, I always get to go to the gun range and shoot. And I had a hard time aiming for the head and hitting the head, and I kept hitting the groin area as well. And I looked at my instructor and I said, I keep hitting him in the cookies. And everybody laughed, and the instructor was trying not to laugh. And he said, ma'am, that's the pelvic girdle. That's what he told me. That's the pelvic girdle. I was like, looks like I hit him in the cookies to me.
And you said, well, down south we call it the cookies.
That's the cookies, man. I hit him right in the cookies. She's been practicing, and that's exactly where she's aiming. Ray calls Ron and says, dude, you better watch it. And Ron calls Ray back a few days later and says, Ray, if she's got a gun and comes at me and I get it from her and I shoot her, am I going to jail? He wants to know if she approaches him with a gun and then he wrestles it away and he shoots her, is he going to go to jail?
Yeah.
And Ray tells him, well, that's self-defense. And Ray says, quote, if you see her, try to get close to her, close the gap, and don't let her get to you. Don't let her get into her purse, end quote.
Okay.
On November 13th, 1987, Ron obtains another restraining order, this time a straight-up restraining order from Vista Superior Court, ordering Linda to stop harassing him and his new girlfriend and not to come within 100 yards of their residence or their job sites. So he's finally getting his balls out of his purse. He's saying, okay, I've had enough. Enough is enough. Stop harassing me. Stop harassing Vicky. And you can't come within 100 yards of either of us or I'll have you arrested and thrown in jail. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
But that didn't stop her before.
That didn't stop her before.
Yeah.
Linda denies ever harassing Ron when she replies to this restraining order saying, quote, my sole intent never included willful or knowingly malicious actions or conduct, but purely harmless, heartfelt, and deserving attempts to communicate to help me understand the emotional stress and turmoil has exhausted me.
Whatever.
There was a period in there somewhere.
Yeah.
She's exhausted.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda, you've exhausted everybody else.
Yeah.
Linda, he's just not that into you. Yeah. I don't know how it needs to be spelled out for her.
It's like in Wayne's World, you got me a gun rack. I don't even own a gun.
A gun.
I don't even own a gun.
The harassment stops, and Ron is cautiously optimistic. He moves a half hour away to Carlsbad, California. He takes a new job. He rents a new second floor apartment, and Vicky moves in with him. And not necessarily because she wants to, but because Vicky's family makes her. So Vicky lives at home, and her whole family is sick and tired of Linda. So they say, Vicky, if you want to stay with this guy, if you want to stay with Ron, you got to move out. Yeah. You got to go with him because we're tired of Linda showing up at our house all the time. Sure. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Now, at this point, they don't realize just exactly how dangerous Linda is. Mm-hmm. By Thanksgiving, Ron is settled into his new digs with Vicky, but lying in wait is Linda. She tracks him down, this time by obtaining his address through the utility company. Remember, she's diverting his mail.
Yeah.
She gets his address, but she doesn't pay him a visit. No, this time, Linda rents the apartment directly across from Ron.
Are you serious?
And she begins to watch his every move.
Oh my God.
She sends a letter to Vicky that says, in past tense, I might add, it seems you wound up in a place I warned you to back away from. Ron made his bed, and I had to make sure he was going to lie in it. I told you I would get him in the end. End quote. And at this point, Vicky moves out.
Yeah.
She can't stand all the BS that Linda's been putting them through. She breaks up with Ron around the 12th of December, 1987. Just days before Vicky says it's over, unknown to Ron, Linda goes to his new apartment just across from her. With her, she has her gun. She was going to kill him, but Ron wasn't home. On the evening of Monday, December 14th, 1987, Ron is coming home from the grocery store. It's about 5:30 p.m. He has with him a 6-pack of beer, a sandwich, and some gin, like a tiny little bottle of gin. It's believed that he was planning on watching Monday Night Football. And when I heard 5:30, I was like, oh yeah, it's the West Coast.
Yeah.
They have to watch it earlier.
Yeah.
He walks up the stairs to his second-floor apartment with his grocery bags, and Linda is waiting for him in the dark. As he gets his keys to open the door, his back is to Linda, who has her gun, her .38 Special. And a .38 Special is a gun known for accuracy and a manageable kickback, because if you've never shot a gun, there's a kickback.
Yeah.
And she's filled the gun with hollow point bullets.
Wow.
Now, just to explain hollow point bullets, they expand when they enter soft tissue. So they make a bigger hole. They cause a lot more damage. Yeah. In other words, what I'm saying is Linda is prepared. She wants to make sure if she shoots him, she's killing Ron.
Right.
Ron turns the knob on his apartment door, and Linda steps out of the shadows. This was what Ron had been trying to avoid for years, and now it's happening. Linda fires the first shot, hitting him in the side. She fires a second shot that misses him, and Ron drops his groceries and his beer, and he takes off down the stairs. And as he's running down the stairs, Linda fires 3 more shots, one of which hits him in the back. He drags himself off the ground, and he pounds on his neighbor's door. Her name is Janet Gupton. He pounds on her door and shouts, "Janet, let me in. Janet, let me in." So if you've just heard shots fired,
Yeah.
do you open the door?
Yeah.
Janet did.
Oh, she did?
She did.
Wow.
When Ron got inside, he said, quote, "I just took 2 shots to the heart," and then he collapsed on the floor of Janet's kitchen without saying who had shot him. And his lungs were basically torn apart by the hollow point bullets. Ron asks very calmly, he asks Janet to call 911. She does, and Ron's last words to her were, quote, "Thank you for calling for help," end quote. Told ya, just a good guy.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Linda's on the move. Linda has an escape route all planned out. She picks up her bullet casings. And Linda ran through a back alley to her car and then drove to a gas station in Oceanside, California, about 3 miles away, where she stops at a payphone, because this is 1987 and that's what we had back then. She stops at a payphone and she calls 911, and she's sobbing, and she says, quote, "I shot a person, Ron Ruse," end quote. Now I want to stop for a second.
Okay.
If she was so hell-bent on suicide, why did she pick up her shell casings, and why did she have a plan to get out of there? Yeah. Because I thought, she would kill him and then kill herself, right?
Yep.
When the Oceanside police officers Shirley Unger and Thomas Lundgren arrive, Linda puts her hands up in surrender, saying, quote, "I just shot someone in Carlsbad," end quote.
Okay.
They put Linda in handcuffs. She tells the police where to find her gun. Then on the way to the station, she asks, as she's sobbing, quote, "Do you know if he's okay? I just hope Ron's okay. My parents raised me better than this. There are still things I need to say to him," end quote. What?
Yeah. Jeez.
Haven't you said it all over the last couple of years as you've been stalking him?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, after Ron's neighbor calls 911, EMS arrives and Ron is helicoptered off to the hospital in the Life Flight chopper. But on the way to the hospital, Ron Ruse passes away. At the police station, Linda says Ron called her and asked her to meet him. She brought the gun along because she was afraid of Ron. Wow. And when he came up the stairs, he lunged at her and she shot him in self-defense all the way down the stairs. Yeah. All the way down the stairs 4 times, right?
Yeah.
In Linda's empty apartment right next to Ron's, Linda leaves notes and a will that indicated she might have been thinking of committing suicide. But according to Detective Bob Gilliam, quote, "I'm not convinced she ever intended to," end quote. Yeah. Well, she had an escape route. Yeah. She picked up her shells, her shell casings.
Yep.
Ron Ruse's family found out that Ron was dead 3 hours after the shooting when he was taken to the morgue.
Oh, wow. Can you imagine?
No. Now, Linda pleads not guilty to the murder charge at her preliminary hearing on March 28th of 1988. She's going to go through 2 different court-appointed attorneys. The last one says, based on the evidence I've seen at this point, I'm not in a position to say what the defense will be. He's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. I don't know what our defense is going to be.
Yeah, I don't feel like having a losing battle on my record here.
But her previous attorney, Deputy Public Defender Ray Kane, said, quote, "I don't see how I can deny she shot him," end quote.
Yeah.
The DA, Ed Miller, didn't ask for the death penalty, but life without the possibility of parole because Linda had no prior criminal history, unless you consider stalking prior criminal history. And I think today, stalking is considered prior criminal history.
Right.
Linda wrote a letter to the newspaper, the Daily Times Advocate, that she never saw the movie Fatal Attraction because everybody was comparing her case to this movie. Her letter said any similarities between her case and the movie have been, quote, grossly blown out of proportion. And then she says to both families involved, "I apologize," end quote.
Okay, that solves everything.
Then Linda told a radio reporter that Ron was accidentally shot after he stopped her from committing suicide. So which story is it, Linda, right?
Wow.
DA Tom Manning said, quote, "I believe the evidence shows that this was a pre-planned, cold-hearted act. The day of the shooting, she decided it was his day to die," end quote.
Yeah.
Now at trial, Linda says her plan was to have Ron witness her suicide, but when he lunged at her as she raised the gun to kill herself, the gun went off in his side, in his body.
Yeah.
And then all the way down the stairs again.
In the back.
In the back. She also testified that she didn't remember firing those 4 other shots as he ran down the stairs. She thinks she's killed him, so she stops at the payphone to say, "I think I shot someone. I think I hurt someone." And then she voluntarily gives herself up because in the back of her head, she's got to be able to say it was self-defense. And now I'm just a mess because that was never the intention. And I didn't go there with my hollow point bullets in my .38 special and shoot him all the way down the stairs and collect the casings on my way out.
And the empty apartment that I rented across from his apartment.
Yeah, just to watch him.
What an idiot.
During the trial, Linda was expressionless, and she only occasionally glanced at whichever witness took the stand to tell how relentlessly she had stalked them and Ron. So all the family members, all his friends, everybody's like, yeah, she was crazy. She was showing up here. She was showing up there.
Yeah.
2 psychologists, Edward Fisher and Frances Crinella, I think that's how you say her last name.
When's she in 101 Dalmatians?
That's Cruella.
Oh, I'm sorry.
DeVille.
Okay, go ahead.
They interviewed Linda in jail and said that Linda held this fantasy that Ron would still somehow return to her. Like in her head, she thinks Ron's coming back to her somehow. And Linda told the psychologist that Ron had changed his mind, that he did love her. It was his intention to reunite with her. Crazy.
Yeah.
The trial lasted 3 weeks. The jury deliberated for 2 days. Linda Ricchio was found guilty of first-degree murder and illegal use of a firearm. She was formally sentenced May 22, 1988 by Superior Court Judge Jeffrey Miller to 27 years to life.
Oh, okay.
The sentence included 2 years of prison time for using a firearm, and she would be eligible for parole in 18 years. She entered the women's prison on June 7th, 1989. So she has blamed Ron for putting her in the position of having to kill him. That's the way she feels. It was all self-defense. And in a typed letter to her probation officer, Linda said she hopes to make the best of her prison experience, including trying to help other convicts deal with the consequences of their crimes and learn how to stop people. But yet she doesn't really deal with the consequences of her own crime.
Yeah.
There's no remorse there. There's basically nothing. In 2019, 31 years after killing Ron, Linda agreed to forego her scheduled parole hearing because she's planning on filing this lawsuit about the conditions in prison, but it goes nowhere. Linda has said, quote, "Through inner self-peace, I will not settle within me this existence. I find some comfort in knowing that as long as his memories and his love lives on in my heart, he can never truly die."
Wow.
As a direct result of this unfortunate incident, I envision as a main goal founding a support group or organization for the families and friends of individuals who are accidentally responsible for the death of another individual, end quote. She's accidentally responsible.
Oh, man.
Now, while in prison in 1991, she married a former prison guard. I'm assuming he was a guard. She married him, and then he had to leave his job.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise, they get a divorce.
Why would anyone do that? Oh, my God. Okay.
She's lonely.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about him.
Oh, well, who could say?
Oh, wow.
Linda's had a lot of parole hearings, a lot of them. The last parole hearing was in February 20th of 2026, so just this past winter.
Right.
And they issued a 3-year denial. She will be heard again for parole in early 2029. Now, the Ruse family has filed a wrongful death suit against Linda way back after the trial was over.
Right.
And she doesn't have any money. She has nothing for them to gain from her. But they didn't want Linda to ever profit from selling her story.
Sure.
Now, every time Linda comes up for parole, which is a lot, Ron's family has to show up and try to keep her in prison. According to one sister, quote, "She," meaning Linda, "stalked her victim as efficiently and calculatingly as any hunter tracks his game." I think Linda is exactly where she belongs. Hopefully she stays there for the rest of her life. Today, Ron Ruse would be 66 years old, and I bet he would still be surfing every day.
That's sad.
But that is the real fatal attraction story of Linda Ricchio and her victim, Ron Ruse. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right, my take on this, if there was ever a case to plead for insanity, it was this one, but I'm glad they didn't because she deserves to be right where she is.
She knew exactly
I know.
what she was doing.
But she's nuts.
Yeah, knuckin' futz. That's the definition.
God,
she could not let go of him.
Yeah.
What a miserable existence for him.
Yeah.
In the end. And poor Vicky. And, Vicky broke up with him just a few days before she murdered him, before Linda murdered him.
Yeah.
It could have been 2 people and not just one.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm glad they found her guilty. I'm glad that she's in jail, and hopefully she will never, ever get out.
Yeah, there's the Citizens for Homicide. I want to say that's what it's called. I mean, every time she comes up for parole, they'll run a little article there. It goes out to people in California, I think, and there are petitions you can sign to try to keep this woman in jail. And I want to tell you, his 4 sisters, they fight relentlessly to keep Linda exactly where she belongs. And good for them.
Yep.
Good for them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good for them. I don't even know what else to say, except let's just do some bless your hearts.
Well, bless your heart.
All right, number one, I'm calling the naked truth.
The naked truth.
Yeah. Peach State cops received a report Friday of a stolen vehicle that was believed to be in the possession of a nude suspect, and his name is Mackenzie Call.
Peach State cops, Georgia.
Yep. The Gwinnett County Police Department, that's in Georgia, announced on Saturday. Later that day, police found the vehicle, but Call was not inside it. Now, try to follow along here.
I'm trying.
Witnesses told authorities he fled on foot, and officers noticed signs he may have been, quote, exposed to chemicals while inside the car, cops said.
Okay.
The chemical Call supposedly exposed to is not immediately clear, though police body cam footage showed arriving officers discussing whether Call had suffered chlorine burns and showed an abandoned pool servicing truck. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
While officers searched for Call, multiple 911 calls were received about a man matching his description, wandering through the area wearing only a tablecloth and attempting to get into several vehicles, police said. Surveillance footage released by police captured Call prowling around in what appeared to be, this is what I love, glasses, a pair of blue slippers, and a beige tablecloth draped haphazardly around his waist.
Oh.
Yep. At one point, the birthday-suited thief allegedly entered an occupied home and snatched the keys to a Mercedes before driving off, authorities said.
Okay.
Officers quickly found the stolen Mercedes, conducted a traffic stop, and took Call into custody at gunpoint. Dramatic body cam footage shows.
Did he put his hands up and lose his tablecloth?
I don't know. Call has been hit with a slew of charges, including theft by taking burglary in the first degree, entering an automobile with the intent to commit theft or a felony, loitering and prowling, and driving without a valid license, cops
So
said.
he stole the pool servicing truck.
I guess.
And got chemical burns.
Yep.
And then he took all the clothes off because that's what was burning him, apparently.
Yeah.
Then he just takes off running, trying to find another way to get out. Okay, I figured that one out.
I'm gonna say drugs are probably involved somewhere around there.
If I was writing that, it wouldn't have been a beige tablecloth. It would have been like a checkered, a red checkered tablecloth.
All right, number two.
Number two.
Hey, kids, make good choices.
Make good choices.
Yeah. After being discharged for another crime, Lisa Cleaver, 42, was hit with a theft charge and hauled back into Livingston Parish Detention Center in Livingston, New Orleans.
I was going to say a parish, must be Louisiana.
Yeah, New Orleans. After stealing a Department of Public Works truck and leaving her discharge papers inside.
Oh, honey.
Deputies said the dolt, I love that, the dolt first tried to hijack an unmarked squad car from the jail parking lot immediately after her 7 a.m. release on criminal trespassing charges.
Oh.
Lisa Cleaver, 42, was hit with theft charges and hauled back into Livingston Parish Detention Center Monday morning. Quote, during our investigations, deputies learned that Cleaver, as soon as she stepped foot out of the LPDC upon her release, attempted to gain entry into an LPSO unmarked unit in the front parking lot.
She didn't even leave the parking lot. She just tried to steal one right there.
Yeah, well, and he said she was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cleaver then made off with the Public Works truck before ditching it and hitching a ride with someone heading south along State Highway 63, police said. Authorities rushed to the area after receiving reports of a suspicious woman wandering in the middle of the highway and found the blundering outlaw inside a grocery store where she was detained.
Aww.
Yeah, she was charged with theft of a vehicle and attempted theft of another vehicle.
Bless her heart. I just see orange traffic cones falling off the back of this truck she's stolen as she's on the lam.
God, she didn't think that through.
No.
So once again, kids, make good choices.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, number 3, and finally.
And finally.
We'll keep a light on for you.
Okay.
Charles City, Virginia, and this is a short one. A suspected drug dealer thought he could escape capture by running into a wooded area at night. But sheriff's deputies had no trouble following him. He was wearing sneakers that lit up.
Oh, like the toddlers wear.
When deputies caught the suspect, they found 12 bags of cocaine worth $800 in his pockets. He was charged with possessing and selling cocaine.
That's not too smart. I mean, bless his heart. Take your shoes off or change your tennis shoes. Honestly, I didn't know they made those for adults, so
Oh, no.
I might have to look into that.
Yeah. Maybe he was really small.
Well, if you have a bless your heart or you know somebody's heart who needs blessing, all you got to do is go to hitch2homicide.com. Use the number 2.
Yep.
When you get there, there's a pull-down menu, and while you're there, you can also suggest a case or tell us about your brush with true crime. That's my amazing husband out there.
That's my beautiful bride in the booth.
Join us next time on Hitch to Homicide.